Am I a good boss?
You are a good boss, Ben. You're a very good boss.
Some guests are serious, some are really funny. What are you waiting for? Come and get this honey. It's absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Join the hype, like and subscribe.
All right, so we've gone and got Mr. Jamie from TCOP podcast, even though the P is the podcast. I'm doing it already, aren't I? Jamie is my as and when editor, and I've been meaning to get either him or Tom on for a while, but it's just never really happened. So I
No.
hope you enjoy this episode. But obviously, me and Jamie have been quite sort of close and intertwined lately because you've been really helping out the Absolute Bedlam universe. And it's on a bit of a sad note, which we'll get into, which I can see that you're already
Yeah.
feeling a bit shit. But yeah, I think that you've approached it in a way that's been productive, and you're obviously trying to keep your mind off of it.
Pretty
But
much. Fair, like you say, we've talked a lot. I think I talk to you more than I do my wife at the minute, to be honest.
that's a problem.
Is that a bad thing?
That's a problem. You're always on your phone. You're always on your phone. Yeah.
Why is
yeah.
Ben voice noting you now?
Yeah. Who the fuck's this Ben guy? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Why can't you stop swearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, I was with my daughter earlier when you sent that.
Yeah, don't
And
ever listen to anything in
She
public.
turned around to me afterwards and she went, "He's not very suitable to be around children, is he?"
I've got a kid. He's got a disclaimer, parental advisory sticker on him if he was a CD. Yeah. Awesome. Right, let's go back to the beginning then. So first thing I tend to ask most guests that come on is, how did you find school life?
Well, I went to a boys' school in Birmingham and I had long hair. How do you think it went?
Great.
Yeah, wasn't a good time. A fat kid with long hair at a boys' school. I was bullied quite a lot. I lost the J from my name, which was called Amy quite quickly. But yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
it is what it is. I was the girl of the boys' school, but
Yeah.
you know, it was all right, to be honest.
They were.
At the time, it was horrible, but I had my group of friends, and you know, you move on,
Yeah.
you learn from it. It's
Yeah.
it's not one of them ones where I wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night and remember fucking senior school. But
Yeah. They were that
Yeah,
desperate for a girl that they called you Amy.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. At
Things
least
got
they
tense.
weren't too desperate for a girl.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
all right.
yeah. On a pirate ship or
Yeah.
something, and you're the only wench. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there was some tough times, but it was all right.
I think
No,
school
looking
is
back.
just a continuous lesson of do and don't do that, and it would be weird if you just sailed through school. I think because it's almost like when you pass your driving test the first time, you don't really fully learn, and you get quite cocky. I think because you're like,
See,
I'm bulletproof.
I don't know how to drive, but I've been told that by many people that do. Like everything you learn on your driving lesson, within a year you'll forget because you'll find your own way of doing it.
Yeah, my driving instructor always said short time learning, long time driving.
Well,
And I thought that was quite a profound thing for him to say, because obviously he's getting fucking paid to teach people, and he's pushing them out into the real world and being like, I'll find other students. You don't need to worry about that. But yeah, all good. Right, so boys' school. Can you remember the naughtiest thing that either you did or you witnessed from someone else?
Oh, two stick in my mind. There was a kid named Robbie. I can't remember his surname now. He always claimed that he did half an E in science class once, but yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I've taken half an ecstasy." Don't know how true it was at the time. You believe him because you're fucking 12 or whatever, but
Yeah.
he was having hot sweats, so you never know. And the other one, this was true because I remember this, was a kid in our class called Chris, very popular with the ladies, who thought he was an MC back in the day. And over the field from our school was a girls' school.
Yeah.
And he got caught in the bathroom in the girls' school at lunchtime one day. Fucking legend. And you had one kid who was one of my best mates got expelled for throwing an onion at the back of a teacher. He had quite a few. They were doing something to do with onions in science, and she turned around. He turned around and she just lobbed it at the back of the teacher for some fucking reason.
I was going to say the only acceptable time to throw an onion in school is in cooking class or science class. Otherwise, that's like a targeted attack, man.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird choice as a weapon, but yeah, it was. We had a lot of weird shit happen in that school. Now I think back,
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, never a
good
dull
old
moment,
Birmingham.
is it? Yeah.
No,
It's always a sense of like at 3 p.m. we get to go home and reset. Whereas I feel like nowadays, like my son, for example, he goes home and then continues talking to people on his phone.
yep,
So
no,
it's never
yep,
really actually said and done nowadays. Even at like half term, you meet up with your friends and, oh, I heard that Lewis has got, chicken pox, or it's just mental. Like you said earlier, people's names become weapons and, oh,
yep.
Jimmy had a haircut. It's like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, mate, he had a haircut. Like, it's not something
And
to take the piss out of. Yeah.
I feel sorry for kids now because the fucking
Yeah.
advances in technology, like you say, it finished in the school ground back then. Now there's the WhatsApp group chats. That shit don't end.
And God forbid you find out someone's got a YouTube channel at school.
Oh,
That's like
I can't
something that
imagine that.
I've always heard YouTubers say, like, I kept it really quiet until I got to a certain stage. And then,
Oh.
I got 20,000 subscribers and I started sort of leading into it a bit more, but I couldn't have people know that I was getting 35 views a month or whatever. But yeah,
I
it's an
might,
interesting
yeah.
world. Interesting world. Big question, probably the
Go on
biggest
then.
one. How's your neck?
Fucking kid. It's killing me. Now, to be fairness, I've had an all right day today. I woke up
Okay.
and I was a bit rough in the morning. I was like, oh, I've got my fat parrot on. So I like to call it when it feels like my neck's really heavy, my shoulder's really heavy. It's my fat parrot. So I had that on this morning. Then I come home, got a load of shit done. And then I've been all right all day. And then about half an hour ago, the pain starts creeping. It's like, oh, as I'm about to sit down and record
Yeah.
a Ben, it fucking kicks in, doesn't it? So now I'll sit here and hold my neck like a prat half the time.
How did this happen? Like, how did this originate?
Woke up with it.
Yeah, it's
I
just
had it before a couple of years ago, and it lasted about a month, and it had gone, if even a month. And
Yeah.
this time, it just doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to get better. If anything, I think it's getting worse.
Hmm.
Just constant pain. If I lift my head, lift my arms, pain.
It's a fantastic time to be an editor, but a really bad time to be a human being.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going stir crazy being stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually would like to go to work, but I'm getting loads done for you, and I'm getting stuff done for my show. So that's a benefit, I guess.
Jesus. Oh dear. You have to do like keep in touch days, like you're on maternity leave or something at this point.
Oh, it makes me laugh because it hurts to travel, like trains and buses and even walks. Like after a while, I get really sore, and I literally got called in for a meeting for them to go. Yeah, okay, so you're still not ready to go. Get them back to work. Then see you later. 10 minutes. I was like, you could have done this for a fucking phone call. You
This could have been a
dick.
Zoom call. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, bloody hell.
asshole.
But I hope it gets better, but I'm also conscious that the production might ramp down a bit. Obviously your health is more of a concern to me than picking stuff up in 24 hours. So
I'm pretty good at multitasking. I still get everything done.
all good.
Don't
So
worry. You'll be fine.
we've got a couple of questions about editing, but I want to go into your podcast a bit more because I've probably watched, I'd say probably 40 to 50% of your episodes as of late. I've got a couple of notable episodes that I've seen that you've released, and I want to go into that in a bit. But first things first, your co-host Tom, how did you meet him and how did the podcast first start?
Ooh, this is a bit of a fun story. So, Mr. Stevens, I met in about 2008. Basically, he was friends with a guy called Damo, Cheltenham legend. And I was also friends with Damo from different circles. And we just, I think we was around to watch WrestleMania or one night or something like that. It was just, and we just met and we were just casual friends. Like, we weren't like best of buddies or anything. We just like knew each other in the circle. But I moved back to Birmingham and my kids still live in Cheltenham. And I basically put something on Facebook being like, when I come to Cheltenham, has anyone got a sofa I can crash on just to make life easier? And he was like, yeah, come crash on mine. And since then, we just got really, really close. And they were like best friends. He was the best man at my wedding and everything.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, we started this crazy fucking podcast journey together. And how that started is I'd been podcasting before. I'd done my own show, which was interesting. Didn't last very long. And I really missed it. I really wanted to get back into it.
Yeah.
And I met through a Kevin Smith group a guy called Alex Whiteley, and he had what was called Thor's Kin podcast. So Thor's as in the superhero, kin, foreskin.
We always
Clever play
go
on words.
straight
Yeah,
down the offensive route, don't we, by the sounds of
yeah,
it? Yeah.
pretty much. And yeah, they basically wanted to relaunch a thing they had on their podcast called Superhero Bar Fight, where basically you picked two fictional characters and you put them together in a bar fight and decided who'd win. So I was like, yeah, I'll fucking do it. I'll just find someone to do it with. So I put the word out, who wants to start a podcast? And Tom was like, yeah, I've always been interested in starting a podcast. And that's how it started. So it started a superhero bar fight, and then we ended up having a guest come on. And then the chatting bollocks and talking to guests was more interesting than the bar fight.
Yeah.
So we dropped that, and then we changed the name completely because we weren't doing that anymore. Then we left that network, and now here we are, 5-6 years later, doing all sorts of weird and wonderful shit.
Yeah, fair enough. Can you remember any significant battles that you orchestrated between two superheroes?
One will always stick in my mind. I'll be honest, I cheated on this because if memory serves, I hadn't won for a few weeks. I was like, I need someone who is going to win regardless. So I went, I will be Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen. No one's got a fucking hope. And because we didn't tell each other who we were going to be beforehand, but the rule was you do not change. Like, as soon as you say, you've got to stick to. He had Wile E. Coyote.
Interesting.
So I literally listed all of my powers, and he just went, I've got bird seed, and it just destroyed us. Both of us could not stop laughing over the idea of Wile E. Coyote trying to win bird seed.
Yeah,
It's literally one of my favourite podcasting moments ever. Just
that's great.
bird seed? It's fucking. We had the first one we ever did was Captain America versus Ned Flanders, and I think we decided that Ned Flanders won because he had God on his side.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
We had some
Aaron
great
Lord.
Some of them like was a genuine discussion like who would win, and then others were just like, well, it's clearly this guy. Come on, like how the fuck can you even go against this? But yeah, Dr. Manhattan versus Wile E. Coyote will always be the one that stick with me.
That's great.
I might have to find that audio again.
Yeah, I was about to ask if it's
so funny.
somewhere in the crevices of Spotify or something.
Oh, I don't know where it'd be now. I've still got it on a hard drive though. I probably should repurpose all that crap at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe when TCOP turns like 10 or something, you should just drop that as a clip.
I might do. Yeah, I might
Yeah.
dig some of that out because it's great fun.
Awesome. Love that. That's cool. Are you currently enjoying life more as an editor or a co-host on a podcast? And how often do you record TCOP?
I enjoy it all, to be honest, because I like the whole process. I like being creative. My whole life, I wanted to be creative. I just couldn't find anything I was good at. Like, tried playing guitar, fucking awful. Wanted to sing, got told to shut up. It was terrible. Like, but there's always been that thing in my head that I've wanted to be creative. Like,
Yeah.
So doing this, and it was a case of two independent podcasters. I'm okay on computers. I'll work it out because I did my own stuff before, like I said. So we started out as audio, and then we're like, but most podcasts are video these days.
Yeah.
So I just taught myself. I just went on download like what's the best video editing program that's free.
Yeah.
Like I just taught myself it all, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy that video editing side of it. So I would love to do that more. But at the same time, I love podcasting. I absolutely fucking love podcasting. Because like if we're just doing the show, for those that don't know, my podcast in two parts, we do an interview and me and Tom have a show.
Yeah.
If I'm doing the show, me and Tom, it's great. I get to catch up with my friend. We have a fucking laugh, and it's hilarious. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but we think we're funny anyway.
Yeah,
and,
it's good. Yeah.
And then the interview side of it, like it gets to talk to people I'd never thought I'd ever get to talk to. Hear these incredible stories, and it's so fulfilling. I've always said if this podcast goes nowhere, the life memories it's given me alone is worth it. Like because it's just incredible. So I love all of it. It's really hard to pick a favorite. It really is. I absolutely adore all of it. As far as how often we record, the show we do every single week. And interviews, it's as and when we can get them, to be honest. It would like to be weekly. It used to be weekly, but these days it's getting harder to nail people down.
Yeah.
Which is really quite annoying.
So on that sort of production line and that way of, merging two things together, do you have tons and tons of shows that are like waiting to pair with interviews? Or is it quite sort of 50-50 and you're just putting the puzzle pieces together? Do you know what I mean?
Literally put the puzzle pieces together. We'll pre-record interviews if we can, like if we have a backlog, but the weekly show we'll do, say, on a Monday or Tuesday, or this week recording Wednesday, and it'll come out Friday. We like to try and keep it on because we have segments of the show talking about things that have just happened, like we do like a newly released single, because we have quite a lot of music stuff on our show.
Yeah, you've got single
So
of the week, haven't you? Each of you get picked. Yeah.
So we like to try and record that on the week.
Hmm.
I think once or twice we might have had to like record it at the end of the week for the following week because of life stuff, but generally we record it a few days before it goes out. Try and keep it recent.
Got another editing question, then we'll go into live interviews. When was the last time you really got to cook as an editor, like a really long form video rather than just sequencing and putting things together? When was the last time you were like, this is going to take fucking hours and I absolutely love it? And I've always been I'll do 10% now, then tomorrow I'll come back and do 10% rather than trying to deep a whole episode, because I'm not really built for all-nighters personally.
No, the last one I did that was like that, we did a vlog at Bloodstock. We interviewed a ton of bands and some people and stuff like that, all about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Talk all about being part of the alternative community, which we're ambassadors for. We do a lot of work with them when we can. So we did that, and we basically made a narrative out of it. So I literally had all the interviews, all bits that I've discovered online and recorded, and like me and Tom have recorded, and then it's building those clips, cutting them, putting them into a narrative, and that took like a fucking week to do in total. Because I'm watching back all these interviews and clipping, right, that'll be good for that segment, that'll be good for that segment, I've got 5 different files on the go.
Yeah.
And it's so satisfying when it's done, and especially when people from like the foundation and the organisers of Bloodstock are going, this is fucking great, guys. I'm like, yeah. Hard work pays off, baby.
Yeah, you seem to have this intuition about you as well, where you seem to know roughly what goes where. And sometimes you'll send me like a message like, oh, it's on the QA folder. And there's very, very rarely more than 2 drafts as of late, where, you put something up, I'll watch the whole thing, and I'll be like, right, at 28:12, we need to just add this picture in and maybe blur something out or bleep something, like with our new video that I discussed with you earlier. And you're just like, yeah, okay, cool. You give me the timestamp, off I go. And then version 2 comes up, and then it goes off to the races, off to YouTube. And I think you've got a natural talent for editing. So
thank you. I appreciate that, because it's hard to get given a chance because podcasts are so independent. A lot of people just do it themselves, or they've got these people that work for fucking video companies, Mr. Joe Rogan and them sort of people, who hire these multi-million-dollar corporations that do it all for them. It's hard to get opportunities as the little guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've heard some crazy stipulations for people going on podcasts before. Like Justin Bieber and Drake have actually asked for the sort of studio to send the full video of what they talk about in the podcast before anything goes out. No clips, nothing. You almost have to like sign an NDA. And then the team that Drake and Justin Bieber, for example, actually look after them. They will edit the episode and send it back to you for you to put it up. It's like, what the fuck?
It's bonkers.
Man? That's crazy.
Some of the things we've had in the past, like I emailed a guy the other day and I had an email back from his team saying they wanted $500 for an hour.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah. And another guy was like, we need to see all of the questions in advance. You can't talk about this. Yeah. And I did all of that, followed it through, sent it all off, and then they went, okay, thanks, and then never got back to me again. I was like, you motherfucker.
When I was starting out, I was super ambitious. Like I was trying to get hold of Ali A. I was trying to get hold of Joe Weller. And at one point I actually DM'd Savannah Fox, who's a crazy model on Instagram. She's very alternative, red hair. And she's got like 600,000 followers. And I shot her a DM and I said, right, if I got you on my podcast, like what's your time zone and all that sort of stuff. And to her credit, I could tell it was her as well. She actually responded to me, but she said, I charge $750 for an hour. I said, I really, really appreciate you getting back to me, but are you fucking high? Like, what the fuck makes you think that I've got that kind of money? Like, do you want to see my microphone? Because it's not that fucking suave and fancy. But
It
yeah,
makes me, I think people don't realise there is a lot of money in this game.
oh
People
yeah,
that can make money, fair play. But I think the people that do make money from it is they've got an audience, so they pay for like Patreons and buying merch and things like that. From podcasting, there's no money in it.
no, it seems a very extreme thing where there's nothing and then there's like 20k for an ad read,
Yeah.
and there's nothing in between. Because I've been quite fortunate. I've had like lots of product sent to me, lots of physical product of a company sending me a bottle of rum or, CBD. And I'm always super appreciative of that. But the second I mention money to people, they're like, no, no, you just take free stuff from us. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I can't really pay my landlord with a shitload of
Yeah.
clothing, for example, But yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It feels like the more you want to go down that route of actually getting paid and stuff, it almost becomes very corporate and very formal. And that's not why
Yep.
I signed up to do this personally. I don't know about you, but
The other thing I can never get my head around is they want to charge me $500 for them to promote themselves.
yeah,
Because that's what we're doing. I'm not promoting me. I'm asking you questions about what you're doing.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't get my head around it, but there we
It
go.
is crazy. It's a crazy world. And yeah, the more you ask, the more you seem to get responses like that. But I'm still grateful that they respond because I've
Oh,
sent
100%.
thousands of DMs, dude, where no
Oh,
one
yeah.
replies to me. So, at least they're active. The funniest one I had actually is turning into a bit of a podcast about me now, but I emailed Harry Hill
Oh,
and he
yeah.
responded saying, no thanks, full stop. I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Okay, at least he responded, I guess.
Yeah. But also, fuck you, Harry. When was the last time you did a live show, live podcast?
The live shows, as in the gigs we put on.
So
It's got to be about 2 years ago
Trees,
now.
or
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
you went
The
to
last
a
one we did
festival?
the last one we did as a show was Bloodstock, but I couldn't go to that. So before
Yeah.
that, it would have been 2,000 Trees. For me, on personal level, it would have been
Yeah.
2,000 Trees last year.
Because I'm right in thinking that neither of you drive and you're both kind of
No.
hitching a ride. And it feels like you're kind of living life on hard mode a bit sometimes if you were playing a video game. Because it shows how driven you both are. Not literally, that's a bit of a shit pun.
Well,
Yeah, it just shows that like you've got this level of determination of like, if we can get the approval of getting here and doing some work, then, we'll beg, borrow and steal in order to get to the location at the certain date.
Absolutely, 100. But at the end of the day, these organisers, they're giving us a free ticket, free camping. The least we can do is make the effort to get there and put all the energy in to promote the bands that are at the festival. Like, we will do as many fucking interviews. I think one year we did 50 or 60 interviews.
Yeah.
I was bollocks when I was editing them afterwards.
Yeah.
But, you don't turn bands down because that's what you're there to do. That's the way we see it. Like, if I get to go see a band, great. But that's not what I'm there to do. That's not why I was given a ticket at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll put it together.
They'll remember you as well, and they might see you in a couple of years and be like, "Hey, like we're playing this festival, and we can get you in." Because I find that bands seem to ascend the ranks quite naturally at festivals.
Absolutely, 100%. It does happen. Like, you get remembered by bands at festivals, which is lovely. Like, we've spoken to the guys at Dream State a few times. To the fact that when we went to 2,000 Trees, we saw Jesse, the lead singer, and she went, "Oh my god!" She gave us a big hug, and I was like, "That's fucking cool, man!"
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely adore this band, and the fact that the vocalist just runs and gives us a hug because she knows who we are now. Like, Sean Smith and the Blackout.
I'm about
The
to
amount of
ask you
times-
about him. Yeah.
The amount of time we've hung out with that guy at 2,000 Trees.
Yeah.
Like, one of my favourite memories of life now will be sitting late at night at 2,000 Trees while Sean Smith tells us Ian Watkins stories.
Yeah.
Like, they can't be repeated, mind. But
No.
fuck me, like, some of the stories he's telling us, I'm just like, what is my life right now? I'm
Yeah.
sat in a field listening to Ian Watkins stories with the singer from the Blackout. Like, what is my life?
So, funnily enough, my question is specifically about Sean. How did you get hold of him? Because I've got my own story about how that happened for me.
So originally we spoke to him at 2000 Trees 23. We didn't book him in because he was there with Sapling. We didn't know he was going to be there. This was like our first festival, I think. And he was walking past and we were like, "Sean, have you got like 10 minutes, mate?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course I have."
Yeah.
Like, obviously a lot more Welsh than that. And
Yeah.
He sat there with us, and we had so much fun telling us about fucking sheep herders that download to get you to the stage and all this sort of stuff. And afterwards, we were just like, "We've got to get you on the show properly. Like, would you mind coming on the show properly?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course. Just shoot us an email."
Yeah.
And he came on, and we had so much fun. We always have fun talking to him and Morgan when we're at festivals as well. It's that camera. The press area is the greatest place to be at festivals, I think, because it's so much fun.
It's a real melting pot of lots of ideas and lots of people.
Yeah.
And there is sometimes a bit of a sense of like transaction, but it's all sort of, we're all playing the same game. So it's
100%.
like, it's like living in LA, isn't it? It's like fucking these people are here. Why wouldn't I go up to them and ask them a question, But yeah, for me, I remember probably about 2018, I had him on Instagram and he was sharing lots of stories about him doing DJ sets. And I was like, that would be fucking sick if he came to Weymouth. So I responded to one of his stories and I said, how much do you charge for a DJ set? And he responded to me really quickly. And he was like, what gear do I need to bring? Like, where is the venue? What's the capacity of the venue and all that sort of stuff? And I was like, oh, I'll get back to you in a bit. I'd need to like speak to the venue owner because I'm basically just going to be a promoter for this if this ever actually happens. I'm just going to be like the middleman. And he was like, yeah, no worries, dude. And I noticed with his Instagram, like something happened where I wasn't able to sort of follow up and email him back or DM him back or whatever. And I was like, fuck, like that died and I wasn't able to put him on as a DJ. But also I saw this surgence of happening and I saw this like, he was thinking about getting Raiders and the Blackout and he was thinking about sort of restarting a few of the things. And I thought, fuck, I've lost my opportunity to speak to him. And then I followed him on Twitter and I noticed that he had his DMs open, but he put in his bio, do not DM me about anything apart from DJ sets. And I thought, if I don't do this, I'm gonna self-sabotage. So I said, hey dude, I messaged you in 2018 and then I sent him a screenshot saying about DJ sets, but I've actually just started a podcast and I'd really like to speak to you. And I'm actually happy to pay you for your time. So I thought, fuck, right, I've done my bit. I'm going to wait a couple of days, see if he responds to me. And one day I was out jogging and I just quickly checked my Twitter messages between circuits and I saw he was typing and I was like, holy fuck, it's happening. And I genuinely at one point, Jamie, thought he was going to be like, fuck off, I'm not interested in coming on your podcast, this is just for DJ sets only. And he was like, yeah man, I'm just happy to speak to you, like you don't have to fucking pay me any money. And I was just like, this is mental. I've had so many people on that are like, without sounding disrespectful to guests, but they've kind of had their moment.
Yeah, I know.
Like self-reflecting and we're going through past things. Whereas it feels like with Sean, he's still very much, if he talks, people seem to listen. And like for Blackout to play Download after 12 years of inactivity or whatever, and to fucking sell the whole tent out is nuts. So this has kind of turned into a bit of a love letter to Sean. But
he's such a lovely guy.
When you really get in your head about how the fuck do I speak to this person, and you start to go on this journey, and you're like, I'm absolutely in love with that chase feeling.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know that I can speak to this person if I just nag them enough. And also because he's in a podcast, he does the same. So it's a mutual thing of like, and I think they really want to get Fred Durst on. It's happening. That's like, I think
he's been chasing that for years, hasn't he? Bless
golden
him.
goose. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm always interested to hear about people get guests. And obviously we've spoken behind closed doors about certain guests that you've had on. And a lot of it, unfortunately, I don't really get on well with these, but they're all fucking contact webmaster forms and...
There's loads of different ways,
Yeah.
There's the webmaster forms, like they do work. I've had quite a lot of luck through them. Instagram is gold because a lot of people on Instagram have a contact button and email address, and I'm like, thank you. Like, there's so many different ways of going about it, or just sliding in DMs, the good old fashioned way. There's so many different ways. But the other way I've found success in the past as well is, like people put on Instagram stories, ask me a question.
Yeah.
I've gone, do you go on podcasts? Yeah. And they reply to me like, sweet. Any way I could find a way in, and
Yeah,
I'm in.
absolutely. Yeah, that's it. I remember like really thinking about how I was going to approach podcasting and how I was actually going to get like a couple of guests on that had a couple of followers. And I remember actually going on Berry Tomorrow's Instagram and they had a contact thing, but they didn't actually have an email address or a mobile number. And there was a button in Instagram back then, probably like 2019 or whatever, and it was request phone number. So I pressed it, and it was like a notification has been sent to the account owner of this Instagram account, and I was like, oh well, that's me done for the night then, because I've I'm just gonna get Danny Winterbates' fucking mobile number sent to me by email, and I was like,
Mate,
just so ignorant to so much stuff back then,
you are. That man is a dream guest for our show. We spoke to him once at Bloodstock,
Yeah,
and I want him on for a long form podcast because he's so interesting and he's so fucking talented.
yeah.
I want him on the show. We've had the drummer from Berry Tomorrow twice.
Okay.
So, Danny, if you're listening to this, please, for the love of fuck, come on our show. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's this world as well where, like, say you get DJ Lethal on from Limp Bizkit, or you get John Otto, the drummer, and it's like, I know that this is possible to get Fred Durst on or Wes Borland on, but you also have to appreciate that they're not all in the same house together.
No.
So sometimes you have to kind of go for, like, at one point I had the keyboard player from Franz Ferdinand's email address. And I was like, if I can get him on the podcast, then I might be able to get the guitarist and the singer on. But yeah, I've always had this bit of duality with that of like, should I use a small YouTuber to get to a big YouTuber that once did a video with him? And I'm just like, oh, I don't know. It feels a bit sort of dirty sometimes, but the only way to fucking win the game is to keep playing the game.
I know exactly what I mean. I'm quite an awkward person. So there's a guy we interviewed, and I really wanted to interview one of his best mates. And I was like, I should just ask him. And I was like, but then I don't want him to think that I'm using him as a leeway to get to that person. So I don't know if I never bothered.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
taught myself out of it.
That's it. We do get in our heads a lot, I think, as podcasters.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Should I ask this question? And yeah, it's just like, just fucking go for it. Just, the worst thing that's going to happen is they walk off the podcast, which would actually do numbers. So, it's like, nothing can go badly other than, the fucking camera exploding and the laptop dying halfway through the recording.
Well, I've had my chair break while interviewing a guest once. That was fun.
Yeah. We'll have a break and I'll talk to you about the worst recording that I've ever done. Because that was funny. I think I've previously mentioned it a couple of times, but it was one of those, oh my God, I want the fucking world to swallow me up moments.
Okay.
In terms of equipment, how have you incrementally upgraded your setup since starting versus now?
When we started, if memory serves, we were using our mobile phones.
Yeah.
With Skype.
Yeah.
And then we upgraded to a USB mic. And then I'd use a computer, and I think you'd still use a phone, and it just gradually upgraded. And now we've got like HD webcam and fucking, I can't even think what it's called, like the Scarlett Solo and Rode microphone and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And we've literally just invested in some new stuff for the live ones as well when we're at festivals.
Yeah.
We've upgraded some Rode Interview Pro. Haven't tested them yet. They're turned up today. But yeah, it's constantly, you've got to keep upgrading. You've got to keep. You got to make yourself look better, sound better. You got to get it perfect because there's so many podcasts out there. You've got to make sure your sound's good. Otherwise, people go, "Oh, it sounds like shit. I'll go listen to someone else." So but the road stuff's so good, and you got all your levels and all that bollocks on there. So now I know a bit more what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it's all good. But originally, it just started out as on the phone with Skype, and then it. Like I said, USB mic, and it just slowly upgraded from there, really.
Yeah.
We used to have, like, proper fabric banners dangling behind us, so you got none of this green screen bollocks going on, but unfortunately, because of Tom's living situation, we had to move to green screen. But, yeah.
It's interesting when you watch a podcast and then, like, 6 months later, you watch another episode and you see the stuff start to change. Like, I always see that with Twitch streamers. Because they'll get like a donation or something whilst they're streaming, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can actually upgrade my like RGB lights, and and I can have a second webcam." And There's a guy I used to watch a lot on Twitch called Affan, and I think he still streams now, but I just don't have the Twitch app anymore. But at one point he had like 3 cameras, and he would do the I don't know if you've ever seen this on YouTube, the dramatic prairie dog.
No.
I'll send you a video. It's basically like when it's like dun dun dun, and it like zooms right into the guy's face. It's really funny. I don't know how streamers do it, man. That's a level of energy I don't think I can actually get as a human being. I don't know how they do it for 6 hours straight.
No, I've never got Twitch, to be honest. When I'm playing video games, I just slouch and I don't really talk and stuff like that. But I remember back in the early days of doing the podcasting, I was like, I'm going to do a movie commentary track. So, like, people can watch the podcast, listen to the podcast and watch the film. About 15 minutes in, I realised I was just watching the film and wasn't talking. I was like, this isn't for me. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm too busy just enjoying the film. Like, this isn't for me. So God knows if I tried to do that.
My absolute peak self promo was actually starting a Twitch account as a spectator with no plans to ever stream. Was actually creating an account called Absolute Bedlam Podcast. And I cannot tell you the amount of fucking people, Jamie, that thought I was called Absolute Bedlam, as in bed lamp, as in bought from IKEA, bed lamp. Absolute Bed Lamp Oddcast. Oddcast, mate. What the fuck? And I'm just like, oh my God,
Now.
I need to create a new account. But I actually got quite a lot of fruit from jumping on Twitch and speaking to people. There's a guy that I interviewed a while back called Mega Mike, who's a drummer from Canada. And Herman Lee used to share his videos quite a lot. And he blew up.
Herman.
But a lot of that is, I always think of a shout out as like, they're putting fuel in your tank, but you also have to drive the car. You're not going to get famous just because everyone's retweeting you and stuff. You actually have to have like a wealth of video already there for people to actually digest your sort of content.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, it's just a little
100%.
boost, you know? Yeah.
Things like that. It's just nice to have some admiration for people to go, good job. I'm like, thank you. I put in all this fucking work. Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. It really is, especially if you do it every week. It's an endless fucking pursuit of creative endeavor. Yeah.
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 It really
right.
is.
We'll go to a quick break. I'll tell you about the worst podcast I've ever done, and feel free to tell me yours if you want to. You might want to speak to Tom first. It's up to you.
Oh no, I've got two that come to mind.
Supreme CBD. Okay, this isn't just a normal ad read. This is stuff that I genuinely believe in, and as you can see, I'm using quite a bit of it at the moment. Are you getting enough sleep? Is your sleep hygiene good? Is your overall anxiety at a good level? Is it manageable? These are the questions that you should be asking yourself. So for me, I think Supreme CBD is the best in class. I've used other companies previously, and their oils and their edibles are just absolutely fantastic compared to other brands. The Bears are super popular, and they're currently doing an offer which is unbelievable. If you use my code Bedlam40, you can get this offer for just under £65. And the size of the tub that they are selling with this bundle is 5 times the size of this. So with that, you'll get a 3,000 milligram oil, 3,200 milligram tub of Bears, and you'll get a free gift. So if you use the code Bedlam40, you'll get that for just over £65. Also, everything on their site is 40% off if you use my code, which is Bedlam40. And this stuff is just absolutely fantastic. I'm genuinely really surprised that I'm getting on as well as I am with this. And I'm not being paid to advertise this. So yeah, you can get them in different strengths, depending on your mood, depending on what you think you need to function. So thank you very much for supporting the show. And back to it. Absolute Bedlam. Okay, let's get into it then. Worst podcast you've recorded or felt awkward, or because obviously I've got one as well. So if you want to go first.
I've got 3 that come to mind. I'm not going to say names because that's just mean. But These are three awkward ones. One was just possibly the most boring person I've ever spoke to in my life. Like literally was like, so how's this going? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
You do know how conversation works, right? That was awful. Like getting blood from a fucking stone. That was. One we had where we'd written a bunch of questions. Why this guy was famous for one particular thing. We didn't even get to approach that by 90 minutes because he was too busy talking about something that we didn't even ask about. No interest. It confused the living shit out of me. Like, I remember Tom was like, "You've got to stop looking completely uninterested." You know that, right?
Just shut up, mate.
Please, let's heads up. This was quite early, so no, I haven't got it in me to go. We just shut the fuck up so we can get this back onto Steam. And the other one that stands out, but this one I will happily say who it was because this was not a bad encounter whatsoever. This was one of the funniest episodes we ever did. But the only problem with it is they were fucking mental and completely threw me off what I was saying. And I think they've played Teddy Rocks. You might know who these are. We interviewed. Oh my god. Their names are gone out of my head. Ricky Bow Wow was one of them. I can't remember the guy's name. From Slay Dougie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Heavy Metal Dogs, they came on in full dog costume and everything. And they were nuts. Like, me and Tom were trying to get our questions in and we couldn't. Because every time we try and ask a question, they completely derail it. And it was so much fun. So much fun. Talk about fucking buying ball pit balls and all this sort of stuff. And oh my god, it was absolutely mental. And anyone wants to go check out our show from the early days, go check out Slay Doggy because it's fucking bonkers.
Check it out. Have you had any interactions at all, just to interrupt, with Party Cannon? Because I imagine they'd be very similar.
We interviewed the bass player at Bloodstock one year.
Okay.
Lovely guy. It was quite early. It was our first Bloodstock, so we were quite new to these live recordings. But he was so much fun to talk to. He really was, like talking about Danny Filth and all this sort of nut stuff.
I think there's two parts to that, where there's this deflection technique, which is I am so fucking bored of being interviewed about the same thing over and over and over, so I'm going to interview you. And there's also this sense of like, I feel like I've said everything I need to say and I'm just going to say mental shit that can be clipped up. Like the Theo Von technique of just saying crazy shit that goes viral because it's funny. But they are a nightmare. As an interviewer, that is a nightmare. Especially like I really go out of my way to write notes. And for someone to like almost, you know, completely derail my entire hour that I do this is funny at the time, but obviously looking back at it, you're like, fuck, man, that was such a missed opportunity. And typically those people then vanish off the face of the earth, and you're like, oh man, that was my one time to actually speak to them, and they've like, but yeah, I think that's something I've learned along the way, though. It's like to expect the unexpected, because this is what I want to ask, but if the conversation goes somewhere else, then the conversation goes somewhere else. You just got to adapt and overcome it. And, you know, if you make it a good interview, they'll probably come on for part 2 and then you can go rehash those questions you didn't get to ask last time. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, because you can't, especially virtually, you cannot remotely handle an interview like you would in person. No. It's a very different beast. Play out, and you have to let people talk, and you have to listen and let people breathe. And you know, what will be, and hopefully you get your beats down. But, you know, I've got a question about fucking putting the bins out, which I might get around to asking you later, but it's like, is that an absolute game, you know, breaker, a deal breaker if I don't ask you that? But yeah, there's a few for me. There was Scott Middleton from Cancer Bats, just as he was leaving Cancer Bats. Very similar to what you just said about I actually managed to ask him 2 questions in 2 hours. That's impressive. He just went, bro. He fucking absolutely steamrolled the whole interview because he was talking about his music studio and how he had to sort of pivot life during COVID and he wasn't enjoying playing live shows anymore. But that was one of those guests that I was like, this is fucking crazy, because this was like year 2. And I was
Mm.
like, have people got questions for Scott from Cancer Bats? And loads of people were messaging me saying, I want to ask him this. I want to ask what guitar he plays. I want to know why he supports Arsenal Football Club. And I just didn't get to ask any of those questions. And I felt a little bit I felt like I'd sort of let the fans down, because I wasn't
No, I know what you
actually
mean.
able
Yeah.
to pierce that sort of thing. The worst one I've ever done, though, easily, and this is not a slight on Luke from Preston Echo at all, because I fucked up and he was a great guest. But this was very early on, and I thought that if I sent him a Google Meet link, that the
Mm.
recording would just go. And I didn't realize I actually had to press record. So we joined a Google Meet together like this, where the 40-minute thing kicks in as soon as there's two participants. And I was nervous as fuck. And I was absolutely going through the questions at a rate of knots that I was not actually comfortable with. And he was just like, this is crazy. And this is just as they'd gotten signed by Marshall Records, so I had to go through someone at Marshall Records to get Luke's time, and this is
Mm.
just as they'd released Transmute. And after that, I was like, right, well, like with Zoom, something's going to happen here where there's going to be like a progress bar after the meetings ended. Nothing happened. And I was just like, I have massively like underestimated the ability to actually run a podcast. And then my old business partner was like, dude, you need to like download OBS. You need to like make sure your levels are good. You need to actually like invest in a microphone. You can't just use this.
Yeah.
This will only get you so far. And I was like, okay, I need to take a step back here. But Luke was one of the nicest people that I've ever met, even to this day. And I was genuinely so gutted because he had a real buzz about him at that time where he would go on Twitch and he would have about maybe 2 to 3 thousand people watching him on Twitch. And he would
Fuck.
play like Mario Kart with his friends. And that was probably my golden opportunity because, you're probably aware that Preston Mecco aren't a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's on people now,
Like,
isn't it?
I really fucked with their band though, man. Like they were amazing. Like I've got so much of their merch and I bought Transmute physical. And I was just like, I really fucked this up.
What I see is like we do so many of these. You're gonna make me. I've done this exact thing.
Well, yeah,
We
that
did an
was
interview. Yeah,
yeah, that was it. Because I was weekly recording then. So if I did one a month and I fucked that up, I'd be like, oh my God, I've literally got to wait 3.5 weeks to like potentially fuck another one up. But
yeah.
yeah, go on. Sorry, you were saying something.
I was just gonna say we interviewed a band called South of Salem.
Hmm.
We had an incredible interview, and then right at the end, I realised I didn't press record.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
went for like 90 minutes. And what felt really bad is we saw them again at Bloodstock later in the year, and I was like, I'm so fucking sorry. It was all on me and everything. And then the guitarist turned around to me and went, the singer, Joey, never does interviews. He actually did one for you guys, had a great time, and he was fucking gutted. And I was like, oh, I feel even worse now. I
You,
was like, oh,
you've changed the music industry.
fucking ruined that guy's life,
once,
man. I was like, gutted.
once bitten, twice shy, or whatever they say.
Yeah. And then when we interviewed him at Bloodstock, the singer did not turn up, and I don't fucking blame him.
Yeah. I quickly want to do a bit of a sort of SOP session on
Yeah,
this because obviously you've been helping Absolute Bedlam one hell of a lot recently. And I have really, really struggled to find an editor in the last 5 years that's actually consistent and isn't just a once in a lifetime sort of flash in the pan editor that does a really good job and then is super hard to get hold of. And in the past, I've been accused of micromanaging people and not trusting people. And you seem to have come along at a time where I've actually been able to breathe and I've actually been able to trust you. And like, it's not even just podcasts at this point, it's like food reviews and stuff in the car. And you seem to be sort of grabbing both of those things with both hands. And it's a really nice breath of fresh air that you seem to give Absolute Bedlam. So thank you for that, because there's been times in the past, man, where I've had like nearly a year's worth of content just sat in this fuck off Google Drive folder and it's just not getting touched, to the point where I was like, the only way that I'm actually going to be able to get some of this out is if I like pull all nighters and actually learn to edit myself.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that I started talking to you, actually, I think in the past was talking about your field equipment when you do sort of music
Yes.
interviews and music festivals and stuff. And it kind of grew from there. And yeah, it's just been a nice sort of change of pace. And I know that when you're working on something, you're messaging me and being like, right, it's up on Google Drive, you go review it and all this sort of stuff. And it's just been a nice sort of addition because there's nothing worse than having a ton of backlog as a
No.
content creator. It's almost as bad as not actually being able to record because it's not seeing the light of day. So it's like, yeah, so you've come along and you've really helped me out, and it's been great.
I appreciate you saying that. Like, I think one is you could probably tell I'm not very good at taking compliments. So
Mm.
sorry if I seem incredibly awkward. But no, I think it's because I know it. I'm from this
Yeah,
world. I do it myself. So I'm like, I know what it's like to have content and not have it edited. I
yeah,
know what it's like to need this shit done as soon as you can,
yeah,
especially because, you need. I don't have your vision for how it's going to look. Okay, I seem to be getting it right a lot, but
yeah,
I don't at the end of the day. So, it's get that done, then you can approve it, and then you can get it up. And
yeah,
yeah, I just fucking enjoy it. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity, the trust to actually deal with your baby because at the end of
mm.
the day, our podcasts are our little babies, no matter what people say.
Yeah. And I think I'm a self-imposed control freak quite a lot of the times because we seem to be able to WhatsApp each other our visions quite well, I think. But there's been people in the past that I've had that have been just so off the mark. But I also don't want to be like, that's shit. Because
But at the end of the day, you need
I'm
to.
not, yeah, I'm not very good at taking criticism, I've realised about myself in 36 years. So if someone said that to me, I'd just be like, fuck off, I'm not speaking to you. But then you've got to learn to grow up and actually just take it on the chin and be like, look, okay, it's probably just not quite the style that this guy's after. And like you say, it is the baby, and I do take this quite seriously and all. In the grand scheme
Absolutely.
of things, I've got work, Casper, podcast, everything else, and
Yep.
it requires a lot of discipline to do this, and it requires a
It
lot
does.
of sacrifice. I've found as well. Like, there's been a couple of times where a couple of people have messaged me like, "Oh, let's go out for a drink," and I'm like, "I have to record," and
Yep.
they're like, "Oh, can't you record tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. I am recording tonight. I've scheduled a guest. Suck a dick. I'll speak to you next week."
Yep. Exactly that. It's like I've
Yeah,
been in that same position myself. It's like I've made these arrangements through their PR
yeah,
company who's dealt with this. These people who are busy as fuck, they've put time
yeah,
aside to talk to me. I'm not going to let them down, but
exactly.
no fucking real reason whatsoever.
So the question following on from the lots of compliments is a bit of a narcissistic one, of course.
I'll go on then.
Am I a good boss?
You are a good boss, Ben. You're a very good boss.
Clip that.
This
Oh
is exactly
dear.
what you need in a working relationship, though. It's like you tell me what you want, I'll go right. How's that? And you'll go, can you change that for me? And the job done. I know it's not personal,
Yeah.
and we work together quite well. So yeah,
I'm starting to get these things quite quickly now where like me and Matty have been recording recently face to face. And I almost know now what's good and what's just
mm,
the video. And
yeah,
sometimes I'll message you like, fuck, I've got a really good clip coming up. And, you'll put like the bit where Matty's like, do you know the way? And you'll put the
yeah.
Ugandan knuckles up. And so much of it as well. Like I can't really stress this enough. It's so much of it I don't ask you to do, but you just know the cadence and the rhythm, and it doesn't sort of take you out of the video. It adds to the
No,
video.
I do
It
it with
takes a
my
lot.
stuff as well. Because
Yeah,
I think a lot of time, because okay, Matty's then referenced "Do you know the way?"
yeah.
There might be someone watching that and go, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Guy on.
And I like to. I'm a sucker for context.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so like if someone doesn't know, like, this is what we're talking about right
yeah,
here. And it gives people an idea.
yeah.
Because like you say, most people do. I thought "Do you know the way?" died about 10 years ago.
It
Mind as soon
did.
as he started saying it,
It did.
but some people.
It did.
as
Yeah.
soon as he said it, I was like, people still say this. Like,
There's
I think
this guy. There's this guy fucking quantum leaped.
I heard Casper say this. I could forgive Casper as a kid, and then Matt said it. I was like, grown people still say this. What the
Yeah.
fuck? What's happening in
You'll
Weymouth? And
you'll
then,
figure out quite quickly that Matty and Casper have the same mental age. I said to Matty the other day, because we're both 36, I said Casper is 1/3 of our age, and he's like, never talk to me about that ever again. Growing old is inevitable, but growing up is optional.
Oh, I say that to my kids all the fucking time. The amount of things I say, they go, "Dad, seriously?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
deal with it. I'm immature." Like,
That's it. So in terms of TCOP sponsors, you've
yes.
got Sophie. What other one have you got?
So we got the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Obviously, horrible hate crime, not a horrible charity, a horrible thing that happened that led to a hate crime charity.
Yeah.
There we go. That sounds much better. And that all came about because we interviewed Sophie's mum Sylvia on the show, and after hearing her story, we were like, "Can we do something?" Like even if only 2 people hear it to raise awareness for this, and then we've done like fundraisers for him. I cycled once from my house in Birmingham all the way to the park where she was killed. It took me about 9 hours. I was fucking dead on the hottest day of the year.
Shit.
Raised like over £1,000 for him. So that charity means a hell of a lot to me and Tom. When I was growing up, I was bullied relentless for being different, as I mentioned earlier on. So yeah, we've got that. Also, we've got down there, if you can see him, Amber Forest podcast.
Mhm.
Not sponsors per se, but Braden is a singer who goes by the name of Say We Can Fly, and he's been on the show about 4 times now.
Okay.
And he's just the nicest man. Like him and Tom are like best friends now. He's been one of Tom's favourite singers forever. And then we had him on the show. I managed to wrangle it as a surprise for Tom. And them two are like best friends. They talk all the time and stuff like that. And he's such a nice guy. He's always helped us when we can. He's does something. We always just like fly a little flag and go like, go support Braden because he deserves it.
Okay.
Like he's got so many things. He's got his podcast, his music. He's got a film coming out which looks fucking stunning. Like fair play for an independent film, it looks beautiful. Yeah. So we, like I said, Brain is not so much a sponsor per se. We just like to fly the flag for him because he's such a nice guy and he deserves the world. Like he's such a fucking hardworking guy.
What's been a really impactful episode of TCOP? It doesn't necessarily have to be your best performing one, but what was one that you walked away from thinking, fucking hell, that was incredible?
Quite a few, to be honest. I know it sounds really big-headed. The Sylvia one that I just mentioned is probably one of the biggest ones that stands out to me, just because it's affected so much. Like the relationships have built off that, the opportunities we've had from that, like just being able to have that. That was our first like proper, serious, this isn't a comedy show conversation. Granted, Sylvia was fucking hilarious. We didn't expect that going in, but she was hilarious. Like telling us stories about hanging the phone up on David Cameron and stuff like that. Such a funny woman. But one others that stand out for me. One was Mark Bernardin. Mark Bernardin is a podcaster. He works with Kevin Smith. The man is my fucking hero. Going tired on me. And we went into that. Tom did not know who the fuck he was. And by the end of it, I left for work after it, and he phoned me and he was just like, "Mate." I think we said "mate" about 15 times. Going like, "Mate." Like it was so fucking good. Yeah. And we've had a few like that where afterwards it's just like, fuck, that was so good.
Yeah.
Like it's just an amazing opportunity talking to these people. Another one that stands out for me is John Corabi, who's a former singer from Motley Crue. He only did 1 album with them, but he's my favourite singer of all time. I fucking love it. His voice is just liquid gold. Mwah. Like beautiful rock, raspy vocals. Like love him. And halfway through that interview, and I'm complimenting him, he's like, "Jamie, you need to get outside and touch grass, mate." Yeah. And I don't know, it just had me in stitches. Like my favourite vocalist has basically gone, "Shut the fuck up."
I know. I've been told every day since doing the thing. Yeah.
It's those moments, and Wednesday 13's another one that sticks out to me. I remember being a kid going to Murder Doll shows wearing a fucking black shirt, red fishnets, and a PVC tie. No wonder I was bullied. And fucking loving that guy, and then just getting to sit to him and chat to him about all this stuff and trying so hard not to fangirl.
Yeah,
it's just really amazing tricky, moments.
Actually, yeah, because if you spoke to your idol, I think most people would just flail. But we have to have this level of composure when we're on a Zoom call with them.
Oh yeah.
There's been so many times where I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, like how on earth does like Ashens from YouTube, like how has this happened?
It's mental.
Yeah, just nuts, isn't it? But we love it, so we enjoy it. The Call Me Chris episode that you did, I actually I didn't even know about that one, and that kind of resurged on my algorithm or something, and I was just like, wait, hold the fuck up, like, because she has done so well.
We hit gold with the timing on that one.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was just as she was starting to take off on TikTok, I feel, and now she's like, well, she runs a candy company with her husband, doesn't she?
She's done all sorts of. When we first spoke to her, I think she was on 3 million,
Yeah,
and now she's probably on 300 million or something stupid like that.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's completely blown up for her. Like when I look back at the things we talked about in that like podcast, is like some people in the local area knew who she was. She was doing
yeah,
some videos with ducks, and it's like everything she does has changed and progressed. And that's another thing I love about this, because we talk to some like artists that don't have much of a following, and I'm like, one day,
yeah,
just you watch what's going to happen to them people one day.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
she's another person I would love to get back on the show and be
Yeah,
like, what the fuck happened after we spoke?
yeah,
Like, you've gone from talking to us to being in a Nickelback music video. What the fuck?
yeah. Also, I really want to do some investigations with Sam and Colby, and I know that they're friends of yours. So please,
my my
yeah,
daughter loves Sam and Colby.
they're great. Yeah, I really like them. They're very calm as well, and very down to earth from what I see. Obviously, I've never met them before. Bit of a weird one. It's a kind of a new question that I'm going to keep asking. Is if you could go back in time and rewatch a YouTube video with absolutely no preconceived notions, what couple of videos would you watch? Because
Oh,
pinning one down
Jesus.
would be crazy.
Wow, that's a tough one. It's hard because I'm not much of a YouTube person, so it's hard to really say. But
Yeah.
one
How
thing that I
about
did,
films instead, or a piece of content? Doesn't have to be an internet thing.
film that I'd love to go back and watch again for the first
Yeah,
time,
just like Interstellar,
Clerks.
something like that.
Cl-
Yeah.
Clerks. I
Okay.
would love to spit, because that is my favorite film of all time. That film inspires me in so many ways, and I'd love to just go back when I was younger, when I first watched it, and maybe take from it then what I take from it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So when I
absolutely.
first watched it, I was just like, I fucking love this film. It's
Yeah,
great fun. It's black and white, set in a convenience store, and it's hilarious as jokes about sucking 37 dicks.
yeah,
Great film. And now I look back and I'm like, this guy took a gamble on himself.
mm,
When I want to do something that I am passionate about, moved heaven and earth to make it happen, used the facilities he has around him, and followed his dreams. And that's why he's on my arm.
mm,
That's why I wear him on my sleeve, because the dude inspires me.
yeah,
Because he's literally that way. He's like, what do I want to do in life? Sweet. What have I got to do to make it work? And
yeah,
does it. And I wish I'd taken that approach when I was younger,
mm,
instead of that whole self-doubt demon that I've had my entire fucking life,
mm,
and done something sooner. Like, one of my biggest regrets in life is I never tried to get into film. I've always wanted to make a film. I still would now. I have a script somewhere that I've written. I've never done
yeah,
anything with it. I've never shown it anyone. It's
yeah,
my little thing that I did for myself.
yeah,
And I wish I had it in me, or I had when I was younger and I had the opportunities to follow that route, to do it. So yeah, I wish I could go back, rewatch Clerks, and go, do you know what? Fucking Kevin Smith did that by maxing out 9 credit cards and filming in the
yeah,
shop
yeah.
he works in overnight. I can fucking do that.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's
I
quite
go to New Jersey, but yeah.
quite interesting because I always think it's never too late, but it's always easy to give advice and never take your own. But I always think that I could actually be quite a good comedian if I really fucking knuckle down. I've got a lot of notes on my phone about like little jokes and stuff and little self-deprecation moments of mine, but to actually get on stage as a solo person and potentially get fuck all response scares the
Yeah.
absolute fuck out of me. But
I
yeah, I
think
suppose you just
a lot
got
of
to
it for
try
me
stuff.
is
Yeah,
yeah. A lot
yeah,
of it for me is money. Financing is a big thing in this sort of thing. It's
mm,
family commitments. I can't just turn around to the wife and go, I'm fucking off to go do this
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. I'm off to LA.
And you
Yeah,
know, yeah, and things like that hold me back. I've had
yeah.
so many ideas. I would love to make a documentary. I've got an idea in my head.
Okay.
I had Word documents of panned it out how each segment would go. I'd planned it all, and then I went, "Nah, you can't do that, you silly bastard," and taught myself.
I've got one documentary idea. I don't know if I've already told you about it. I might actually drop it now. It was what are the robot wars robots doing now? The house
Fucking
robots.
gold.
Matilda's
Yes.
in a fucking salon
Oh,
somewhere. Sergeant Bash is working for the fire station and always getting fired because he's the one setting fire to shit. Sir Killer-Lot's arm's been sold to the fire service because it's the jaws of life, isn't it?
yes.
I think there's something there, but I would actually have to meet the house robots.
That would
So
be
there's that
great.
part to it of like, actually, is this possible?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just going to be making shit versions of the house robot.
There's a lot of things that'd be so much fun for great content. It's just
Yeah.
making it work. Like me and Tom have had an idea of doing a road trip for next year because we keep discovering these really fucking dumb things from around the world.
Yeah.
Like Amsterdam, they do the World Seagull Impression Championships.
Let's go.
Like fucking right. I'm like, what? Let's go. Let's do a vlog
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like I think somewhere in the West Country they do toe wrestling championships.
Mm.
Like, let's go. Like, just go and vlog from this shit. It
Quite
sounds
a
great.
weird thing, I think, around here. It's like cheese rolling.
Yes, they do that in Gloucestershire as
And there's a
well.
lot
So
of LARP around here as well, live action role play.
I've always wanted to do that.
I'd love to go there and interview the
Yeah.
people because there's this whole thing, isn't there, on the internet about furries, and actually they're really misunderstood, and a very small percentage of them actually do the things that we think they do. But yeah, there's a lot of that. Okay,
Yeah.
we've got 3 questions left. One
Go
of
for it.
is questions for me? Question mark. Have you got anything you want to ask me live?
I do actually, because it has. I'm not going to say it's bugged me, but it's intrigued me since the day we started. What's with the bee theme? Where did that come from?
So, Beehive Bedlam on Sky, which is a
Oh my god, I
ridiculously
forgot about
cool.
that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like nostalgia. And I like the idea of having a community, which is, the bees and the hive, and everyone's got a shared vision. And I've just always really enjoyed the sort of theming of everything and how it all looks. And yeah, like join the hive, like and subscribe, and getting Jordan to write me a jingle. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure really where it came from, but I remember like on some Instagram live streams and stuff, I'd always say keep it Bedlam. And I'd be like, Beehive Bedlam. Wait, I'm onto something here. And now I've got Vocal Zone on. They make honey
Hmm.
pastels. And I'm like, oh my
Yes.
god, like it's all starting to sort of slowly amalgamate into a big thing. But yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest. It's kind of just
Fair enough. I'll be honest, I didn't expect the answer to be Beehive Bedlam, the Sky game from the 2000s.
yeah, man.
Fucking love it.
I haven't phoned that one in.
I love playing that.
Yeah, man.
Still
Sick
play that
game.
somewhere on the internet.
There was a really cool game as well. You're a submarine. It was called like 500 Fathoms Under the Sea, and you could use your Sky remote as like a controller for the submarine, and it was so sick.
I think I remember that.
It was a bit like a Mario underwater level, but it wasn't something
Yeah.
that really made you want to end it all. It's actually
Yeah,
quite fun.
those fucking Mario underwater levels.
Yeah.
I'll see them in nightmares. Yeah.
So we've got 2 left. We've got if you could take one item away from a house in order to slightly inconvenience someone whilst they're living there, what would you take and why? The past answers I've had have been door handles, someone's Wi-Fi router, a plug, and a toothbrush. So you can still say those answers, but they have already been said in the past.
I mean, I think I did this as audience participation on our show, and I can't remember any of the fucking answers I had now. What was the one that really made me laugh? All of your left shoes. I won't use that one because it was someone else's answer, but
That's
that
great.
really made me laugh. I think I take the batteries out of all of their things.
Yeah.
Can't use your remote.
Yeah.
So many things you just can't use without batteries, and then you're looking everywhere around the house for fucking spare batteries. It's a nightmare.
Or just the controllers in general, because they do have a habit of wandering off, don't they? Or
They do.
falling down the side of a sofa, or
Yeah, the amount of times the kids lost theirs.
bin question. So, are you a binfluencer? And what I mean by that is, do you know which bin to take out on which day, or do you follow the lead of someone else on your street?
I'm definitely been influenced because I can never remember. But at the minute, it's quite easy to remember because we've still got the bin strikes in Birmingham, so it's literally only the rubbish bin anyway.
Yeah, okay.
It's easy to remember at the minute.
There's this thing I saw, I think it was on Instagram or TikTok, and it was a guy that had made a wheelie bin, and it would change colour week to week, and that would tell you what needed to go out. So, like, red would be like food waste, and green would be recycling, and black would be landfill.
That's genius.
And I thought, this guy needs a fucking job. Like,
Get that
this is
fucker on
crazy.
Dragon's Den.
Yeah, I want him on the podcast. But we'd literally just talk about that for 60 minutes. It might be a bit dry. But yeah. All good.
Yeah. 60 minutes about a bin lid. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Any plans going forwards for TCOP? Anything that you want to promo or plug, or what's next?
Plans wise, we are slowly approaching our 200 edition, so it's kind of trying to figure something special for that. We would like to do another gig, but outside of Birmingham, because the last two we did Birmingham. I think if Tom has to come to Birmingham again, he'll spontaneously combust. And it's just pedaling along, really. At the minute, it's just plodding along. But no, definitely come check us out at TCO Pod everywhere, apart from X, because we can't be dealing with racist knobheads.
Mate. I've actually,
Yeah.
I just did an Instagram live with David Lyon, who was a previous guest, and I've basically tailored my algorithm on Twitter or X to just be Pokemon Go trainer codes, and then I can add them. And honestly, mate, that took a long time because there's so much rage bait and there's so much UKIP and there's so much reform and there's so much hate that it actually takes a significant amount of time to change your timeline to something positive. So that's the thing I've done.
I only know two people in this world that still play Pokemon Go, and both of them are from the south. And I'm actually kind of convinced both Weymouth. I can't think where my mate lives, but I'm pretty certain it's also Weymouth, actually.
Yeah, it's a good amount of Pokestops down here. There's a good amount of gyms and stuff.
Apparently so. Jesus Christ.
Man.
I remember I used to play the Jurassic Park version. That one's quite fun. Anyway.
Yeah, there was a Hogwarts one as well, wasn't there? But I think it fell off a cliff. It just
remember the Hogwarts one.
Yeah, there was a Hogwarts Legacy game.
Yes, I do actually. Yes, the wife played it.
Yeah, very similar to Pokemon Go, almost to the point where they would use the same points of interest.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, that was Niantic in a nutshell back then. They made a game before Pokemon Go called oh shit, what's it called? I can't remember now. Ingress, I think. And they AR mapped that game, and then they changed it to Pokemon Go. They just changed the cosmetics of everything. And obviously you catch wild animals, essentially, aren't they?
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a good game. There's a hell of a lot of people still playing it, though, man. Like, if you ever think, like, Pokemon Go's dead, go to one of those fucking live events. There's thousands of fuckers there.
I remember playing when it first came out. I remember me and the wife on holiday, and we were literally just went for a walk, and we were just finding Pokemon as we were going around. Yeah. I don't even like Pokemon. I was never a Pokemon kid, but it's fun.
FOMO is a real marketing tool, though, isn't it? And I remember everyone's got two stories about Pokemon Go: trying to find a Snorlax and a Dragonite appearing on the map, and like a huge tsunami of people coming past you. And the servers crashing as well, because your first 6 months on that game was literal hell. Because it couldn't handle the amount of traffic that was being put through it. Whereas now it can handle all of the traffic. You know, it's scaled up. It's gotten crazy. But yeah, if you downloaded it now compared to 2016, you'd be like, fucking hell, there's so many features in this game now that I'm just completely overwhelmed by everything that's going on. But yeah.
I barely remember it now. Long time ago.
And it's free.
It is free. That is a bonus to it. It is free.
In 9 years, I reckon I've spent 50 quid on the game. It's pretty good, really, all things considered. Considering a fucking PS5 game nowadays is like 80 quid to download.
Ridiculous money.
Surely download should be cheaper than physical. But yeah.
But you know what? I completely forgot what the original fucking question you asked me was now. We went off on a tangent about Pokemon.
What's the plans for the future?
That was it, yeah. Just, plodding along as always. Go check us out. Yeah. The website, thechroniclesofpodcast.com, as you can see behind me. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. We're 710 subscribers. I want that 1,000. So
make it happen. Yeah. Download 200 fake accounts.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it if it works.
Oh dear. All right, well, this has been great. This has been Ben from Absolute Bedlam and Jamie from TCOP, and occasionally contracting as Absolute Bedlam's editor. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope this isn't too bad to edit, Jamie.
I was going to say, it's been weird editing myself.
Yeah. That's a new level of narcissism I haven't experienced myself. Yeah. Cool.
Thanks for having me on, my friend. Much appreciated.
No worries. Speak to you soon.
See you later.
Bye-bye.